In the orbit of Voron, a planet known for its bustling trade stations and crowded shipping lanes, a starship floated quietly among space debris. Most ships here were polished and sleek, showing off the wealth and technology of their owners. But this one was different. Its hull was scarred and dented, paint peeling in long strips. Broken panels revealed wires and tubes that had long lost their glow. Aliens called it the rusting ghost, and no one wanted it. Stories about the ship varied. Some said it had been part of a long-lost fleet. Others claimed it was cursed, haunted by the spirits of its old crew. Traders laughed at it, engineers avoided it, and space scavengers occasionally tried to strip its parts, only to give up when nothing worked. The ship was ignored until a human appeared. Captain Elena Cruz stepped out of her shuttle, her boots clanging softly against the docking platform. She had a confident stride, one that suggested she knew exactly what she was doing, even if no one else believed her. Around her, a few aliens whispered and stared. Humans were still considered young and inexperienced in the galaxy, often underestimated. But Elena was not the type to be underestimated. She examined the ship carefully, running her hands over the cold metal. She could see past the rust and broken panels to the core design. This ship had potential. It had a modular system, hidden compartments, and a structure built to last. Others had overlooked it because it was too old, too useless. But Elena saw a chance. "I'll take it," she said firmly to the station broker, a large, three-eyed alien who blinked at her in surprise. "You? A human?" the broker scoffed. "This ship is worthless. Why would anyone, especially a human, want it?" Elena smiled. "Because I can see what everyone else cannot." The broker shook his head but signed the transfer papers. Elena paid a small fraction of what a functional ship would cost. As she left, other traders muttered. "Humans are foolish," one said. "They will regret this." Elena did not care about their words. She had a plan, and she trusted her instincts. The ship's interior was dark and cold, with the smell of old metal and oil. The floors creaked, and some panels hung loosely, threatening to fall at the slightest touch. But Elena walked through confidently, checking each section, examining the wiring, the engine core, and the control systems. Every old ship had a story, and this one whispered possibilities to her. Soon, her crew began to arrive. They were all human, each with a skill that other species often underestimated. There was Jax, a pilot who had navigated asteroid fields that would have destroyed even advanced alien craft. Mira, a mechanic who could fix almost anything with parts from scraps. Theo, a scientist specializing in alien technology and energy systems. And finally, Luma, an AI programmer who could make artificial intelligence think creatively, almost like a human. Each member was excited and nervous. They had heard the rumors about the rusting ghost, but they also trusted Elena's judgment. "If she thinks this ship can fly, then it can fly," Jax said with a grin. The first days were hard. Systems had failed long ago, and parts were missing or broken. The engines groaned when they were tested, and the navigation systems blinked with errors. But humans had a way of seeing opportunities in problems. Elena gathered her team in the main cabin. "This ship is old, yes," she said. "But it was built to last. It has secrets that others missed. We just need to unlock them." They started with small repairs. Mira scrounged parts from the junkyard and repurposed old circuits. Theo analyzed the ship's systems, discovering alien technology integrated into the hull. Luma connected the AI core, a patchwork intelligence that seemed almost asleep. Slowly, the ship began to awaken. One evening, after weeks of hard work, the engines finally purred. It was not a perfect sound, more like a growl than a hum. But it was alive. The ship had accepted them, and they had accepted it. Elena knew that this was just the beginning. The galaxy would laugh at them at first. "A human ship? Worthless," they would say. But when it lifted off, when it moved with speed and grace that no one expected, the laughter would stop. Their first test flight was simple. They stayed close to the station, checking the ship's controls and navigation systems. Jax took the helm, and Elena watched from the cabin, her hands gripping the railing. "Ready?" Jax asked. "Always," Elena replied. The engines roared, and the ship lifted from the docking platform. Aliens outside stopped to watch, their eyes wide. Slowly, cautiously, the ship floated into open space. Then, with a burst of speed, it darted forward, spinning and twisting in ways that no ship of its size should be able to. Gasps filled the observation decks. How is it doing that?" an alien muttered. Elena smiled. She knew the truth. Humans were different. Where others relied on brute strength or rigid protocols, humans relied on creativity, intuition, and teamwork. They were unpredictable, and that made them dangerous in ways others could not calculate. The first flight ended safely, and the crew cheered. They had done what no one else had dared. The ship had responded to their touch, their decisions, and their courage. For the first time, the rusting ghost was no longer a ghost, it was alive. Word spread quickly through the trade stations. A human had taken the abandoned ship and made it fly. Some laughed, saying it was a fluke. Others were curious. One alien engineer even muttered, "Perhaps humans are more capable than we thought." Elena ignored the whispers and focused on the ship. She already had plans to improve it. Shields that could repair themselves, engines that could perform impossible maneuvers, AI systems that could think and learn in ways alien species could not understand. Each day, the ship became more than a relic. It became a legend in the making. But not everyone was pleased. Some saw humans as a threat. If a human could make an abandoned ship into a marvel, what else could they do? Rival factions began to take note, though Elena did not yet know who they were or what they would attempt. For now, she focused on her team. Each human had a role. Each skill mattered. And together, they could achieve what no one else thought possible. They worked late into the night, repairing, testing, and exploring the ship's secrets. Hidden compartments revealed advanced weapon systems and long-forgotten alien technology. Panels opened to reveal engines that could be upgraded beyond anything currently in the galaxy. Elena stood at the helm one evening, staring out at the stars. "This ship," she said softly, "was not built to be forgotten. It was waiting for someone who could see its potential. That someone is us." The crew nodded. They knew the journey ahead would not be easy. The galaxy would not take humans seriously at first. Aliens would mock them, try to sabotage them, or ignore them entirely. But they also knew that humans had one advantage no one else had: imagination and courage. The final test of Part 1 came when the crew decided to attempt a jump through a minor wormhole near Voron's orbit. No one had used it in years because it was considered unstable. Many aliens had warned them, laughing at the idea. But Elena saw it differently. "Some risks are worth taking," she said, her voice steady. "This wormhole may be unstable, but it can teach us more than any training run. Let's do it." The ship trembled as it entered the wormhole. Stars stretched into long streaks, colors bending in ways that seemed impossible. For a moment, the crew feared the worst. But then, the ship stabilized. They emerged safely on the other side. The stars of a distant system greeting them. Cheers erupted. The humans had done what no alien crew dared. The rusting ghost had survived the impossible, and the galaxy would not ignore it for long. Elena smiled, knowing that this was only the beginning. The abandoned starship, once worthless, had become the first chapter of a story that would soon echo across the stars. Word of the human crew and their revived starship spread quickly through the galaxy. Traders whispered in corridors, engineers shook their heads in disbelief, and alien admirals frowned at reports from the outer systems. No one had expected humans to do more than survive, yet here they were navigating wormholes that had been abandoned for decades, piloting a ship that should have been scrap, and performing maneuvers no alien fleet could match. Captain Elena Cruz and her crew were already at work, improving the ship, Every day brought new discoveries. The AI core, now named Vega, learned from each mission, suggesting adjustments to shields and engines. Mira and Theo discovered that the alien engines could be modified to handle bursts of speed that no standard propulsion system could manage. Jax tested every new maneuver, laughing as the ship twisted and turned like a living creature in space. "This ship isn't just flying," Jax said one day as the ship vaulted over an asteroid field. "It's alive." Elena smiled. "It responds to us because we understand it, not because it's magic. Every system has rules. We just see patterns others ignore." The first major test came sooner than expected. A mining colony on the edge of the Voron sector had gone silent. Standard communication satellites reported nothing, and no alien fleet dared approach. Elena saw opportunity, not danger. "Humans go where others won't," she said to her crew. "We'll find out what happened and make sure no one else gets caught." The journey to the colony was tense. Sensors detected massive debris fields, collapsed tunnels, and gravitational anomalies. No alien ship had survived navigating the area. Yet, the human crew moved with confidence. Jax guided the ship through narrow asteroid gaps. Mira's modifications kept the engines stable, and Vega calculated routes that no human or alien mind could follow alone. When they arrived, the sight was shocking. The colony had been caught in a sudden asteroid storm. Buildings were destroyed, and automated defenses were offline. A handful of colonists were trapped in damaged habitats, their communication devices broken. Elena acted quickly. "Split into teams," she ordered. "Theo, you handle energy stabilization. Mira, prepare transport units. Jax, take the ship closer. Vega, map the safest route to extract everyone." In a series of daring moves, the human crew navigated the debris, repaired broken power lines, and rescued the colonists. All the while, the rusting Ghost moved with agility that no one believed possible, dodging falling debris and sudden energy surges. By the time the last colonist was aboard, alien observers in nearby systems had transmitted every detail to their homeworlds. They watched in awe as the humans performed what would have seemed impossible to their own fleets. Back aboard the Starship, the rescued colonists thanked Elena and her crew. One of them, an alien engineer, shook his head. "I've never seen anything like this. Humans, you are different." Elena only nodded. "We see possibilities others ignore. That's how we survive." Word spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, humans began to be noticed not just as survivors, but as innovators and problem solvers. Rival factions sent spies to study them. Some tried to challenge the humans, testing the ship's limits. Each time, Elena and her crew adapted faster than anyone could predict. The humans' next mission was even more daring. A nearby freighter had been captured by space pirates, who demanded ransom from the surrounding colonies. Alien fleets hesitated, fearing ambush, but Elena saw this as another chance to demonstrate human skill. She called her crew together. "We are going to get that freighter back," she said, pointing to the star map. "Not because we need glory, but because no one else will. And because we can." Jax's hands tightened on the controls. "You know the pirates won't make it easy." "They never do," Elena replied. The plan was simple but required perfect coordination. Jax would maneuver the rusting Ghost close to the freighter without being detected. Mira would ready the boarding equipment and repair systems. Theo would disable the pirates' energy shields, while Vega hacked their navigation systems to confuse them. Every move had to be precise. The attack began in silence. The rusting Ghost approached the pirate ship at an angle that made it nearly invisible to standard sensors. Jax threaded the ship through a field of floating debris, Vega predicting every pirate response. When the humans finally boarded the freighter, the pirates were taken by surprise. It was over in minutes. No human was harmed, the freighter was safe, and the pirates were captured and handed over to local authorities. Aliens watching from nearby systems could not believe their eyes. A human crew, piloting a ship no one wanted, had completed a mission that would have required a small fleet of alien warships. By now, The ship had earned its new name, the Star of Legends. Aliens whispered it with a mix of fear and respect. Humans were no longer just young, inexperienced upstarts, they were formidable. And it was all because they saw possibilities that others ignored. And they were brave enough to act on them. But with fame came challenges. Some factions were envious, while others feared humans' rapid rise. Elena knew it was only a matter of time before someone tried to destroy them, to prove that a human starship was nothing more than scrap. For now, though, the crew celebrated. In the cabin, the stars outside seemed brighter than ever. They had pushed the boundaries, faced impossible challenges, and succeeded. Each success built confidence, not just in the ship, but in humanity itself. Elena stood by the observation window, looking at the streaking stars. "This is only the beginning," she said. "They will test us. They will challenge us. But no one can take away what we have proven, that humans are capable of more than anyone believes." Even Vega, the AI, seemed to echo her sentiment. "Analysis confirms," the AI said in its calm voice. "Human adaptability exceeds all known species metrics in strategy, creativity, and resilience." Mira laughed. "Finally, even a machine admits it." Jax shook his head, still grinning. "And to think they laughed at us when we bought this ship." Elena smiled. "Let them laugh. Legends are built on what others dismiss. And we've only just started." The humans continued to explore, improve, and test the limits of the ship. Each mission brought new discoveries, new wormholes, alien technologies, and uncharted systems. Each success made them bolder, each challenge sharper. Across the galaxy, humans became known as the species that could not be counted out, unpredictable, ingenious, and daring beyond imagination. But tension lingered in the background. Reports of a galactic warlord reached Elena. The warlord commanded a massive fleet and had never lost a battle. Rumor had it he considered the rise of humans a threat to his authority and intended to challenge them directly. Elena gathered her crew for a meeting. "We've done well," she said, "but this is no longer about exploration or rescue missions. Soon, we will face a test unlike any before. A fleet that sees us as a threat, not an opportunity. We need to be ready." Theo nodded. "The upgrades we've made will help. The ship is faster, more agile, and the AI predicts enemy movements." Mira added, "And we've learned to work as a team in ways they can't anticipate. That counts for more than any weapon." Jax leaned back, smiling. "Then let's hope they're ready for a surprise. Humans do best when everyone thinks we can't." Elena's eyes glinted. "Exactly. Let them underestimate us. It will be their mistake." As the starship glided through the stars, it was no longer just a ship. It was a symbol of human potential, courage, and ingenuity. Aliens who had once mocked humans now whispered about their unpredictable brilliance. Legends were forming, and humanity was at the center. The universe was beginning to take notice, and humans were only getting started. The galaxy had begun to take notice. Whispers about humans and their remarkable starship, the Star of Legends, reached every corner of known space. Traders, engineers, and explorers admired them. But admiration often comes with fear, and fear breeds challenge. The message arrived on a small, encrypted channel, marked with a black insignia that no one dared ignore. It was from Lord Kael'thar, a warlord who commanded one of the largest fleets in the galaxy. He had heard of humans' daring exploits, their clever maneuvers, and their growing legend. And now, he wanted to test them. "You humans think you can play in the galaxy," the message read. "I challenge you. Meet me at the AORUS system in 7 cycles. Prove your worth, or be destroyed." Elena read the message calmly, her eyes scanning the familiar crew around her. Jax, Mira, Theo, and Luma waited silently, each understanding the gravity of what they faced. "We expected it sooner or later," Elena said. "He wants to test us. Good. We'll give him a test of our own." The crew prepared meticulously. The Star of Legends had been upgraded and tested countless times. Shields could self-repair. Engines could perform maneuvers no alien fleet had ever imagined. And Vega, the AI, had learned to predict multiple enemy strategies simultaneously. But it was not just technology that would win this battle. It was teamwork, human intuition, and courage. As they approached the AORUS system, sensors detected the warlord's fleet. Hundreds of massive warships, each bristling with weapons. The scale of the fleet was intimidating, enough to make any other species hesitate. But humans were not most species. Elena addressed her crew. Remember what we've done before. This is bigger. Yes, but our principles are the same. We think, we adapt, and we act. Trust each other, and we will survive. Jax grinned, adjusting his seat. Survive? We'll do more than that. We'll show them why humans are the stuff of legends. The warlord's fleet advanced aggressively. They expected fear. They expected hesitation. But the human ship moved differently. Elena's strategy was unconventional. Instead of avoiding the fleet, she used the ship's agility to dart between enemy lines, confusing sensors and creating openings. Vega guided them through narrow gaps in the fleet, calculating trajectories that even seasoned alien captains could not predict. The shields absorbed rapid energy blasts, repairing themselves instantly. Every maneuver stunned the warlord's fleet, forcing them to adapt to the humans instead of the other way around. The first clash came when one of Caelthar's flagship vessels tried to trap the Star of Legends in a gravity net. The ship twisted in ways that seemed impossible, slipping through the net with a sudden burst of speed. Jax's piloting was precise, almost as if he and the ship were one entity. Too slow, he muttered as the fleet missed their chance. You're going to have to do better than that. Elena smiled. Keep focused. This is just the beginning. Mira and Theo coordinated repairs and energy redirection, keeping the ship fully functional despite the constant barrage. Vega analyzed enemy patterns in real time, predicting the warlord's maneuvers and suggesting counter-strategies. Luma monitored the AI's performance and improved its efficiency during combat, making the ship more adaptable with each passing moment. Then came the final test. Lord Caelthar himself entered the fray, piloting his flagship, the Black Obsidian. Its weapons outclassed anything the humans had faced, and its hull was nearly impervious to standard attacks. Many alien species would have surrendered, but humans relied on creativity, not brute force. Elena studied the flagship. It's big, slow, and confident. It assumes it can predict us. That's our advantage. Vega, show me the openings. The AI's voice was calm. Optimal approach identified. Probability of success, 83%. Elena nodded. Not bad. Let's make it 100. The crew executed a daring plan. They used the ship's modular systems to change their signature, making the Star of Legends appear in multiple positions simultaneously on enemy sensors. While the flagship fired at phantom targets, Jax piloted the real ship in an unexpected trajectory. Energy beams glanced off shields, missing their target. Explosions shook nearby space debris, but the humans remained untouched. The warlord's fleet was confused, unable to understand how one ship could appear in so many places at once. Theo activated a hidden system in the ship, an alien technology they had discovered months before. It emitted a wave that temporarily disabled enemy navigation and communication systems. The flagship was now vulnerable, surrounded by smaller ships that could no longer coordinate. Now, Elena ordered. Using their advanced engines, the humans approached the flagship at impossible speeds, slipping between weapon fire and counterattacks. They disabled critical systems with precise energy pulses, jamming communications and weapons. Caelthar realized too late that the humans were not only surviving, they were controlling the battle. Impossible, Caelthar growled. How can a single human ship? Elena smiled, leaning over the control panel. Because humans don't just rely on machines. We rely on each other. And we think differently. You can't calculate imagination and courage. With a final coordinated maneuver, the humans disabled the flagship's engines and forced it to surrender. The remaining fleet, seeing their leader defeated, hesitated, and eventually withdrew. The humans had won, not through sheer firepower, but through ingenuity, teamwork, and bold strategy. In the aftermath, the galaxy witnessed something unprecedented. A human crew had defeated a warlord commanding one of the largest fleets ever assembled. Across multiple star systems, species that had once mocked humans now regarded them with respect and caution. Legends were forming, and the Star of Legends became the symbol of human potential. Elena and her crew did not celebrate for long. They returned to the rescued colonies, repaired the damage caused by the fleet, and ensured peace in the system. Yet, every action they took further cemented humanity's reputation. Humans were no longer underestimated. They were innovators, problem solvers, and a force to be reckoned with. Aliens approached them with curiosity and offers of trade and alliances. Once dismissed human ideas and strategies were now studied across the galaxy. Plans that had been laughed at were implemented, often with remarkable success. Humans had changed the way other species thought, not just about ships, but about potential. Elena looked out from the bridge of the ship one night, Vega quietly calculating the stars' positions. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges, yet full of opportunity. She thought of how the crew had started with a ship no one wanted. They had faced danger, skepticism, and almost impossible odds. And now, they had not only survived, they had inspired an entire galaxy to rethink what humans could achieve. Jack sat beside her. "Do you think they'll stop trying to challenge us?" Elena shook her head. "No. But it doesn't matter. Each challenge makes us better, and each victory teaches the galaxy what humans are capable of." Theo added, "It's not just the ship, it's us humans." They underestimated courage, ingenuity, and teamwork. That's something they can't replicate. Mira nodded, smiling. "We took a ghost and made it legendary. Imagine what we can do next." Elena's eyes gleamed. "Exactly. And this is just the beginning. Humans will rise, not because we are the strongest, but because we see what others ignore and we act." The stars stretched endlessly before them, full of uncharted systems, hidden dangers, and new opportunities. The Star of Legends moved forward, a symbol of humanity's resilience, creativity, and determination. It had become more than a ship, it was the embodiment of what humans could achieve when others doubted them. In the years that followed, stories of Elena Cruz and her crew spread from system to system. Humans became known not as weak upstarts, but as pioneers, problem solvers, and legends in their own right. Other species studied human tactics, trying to understand their unpredictability. The abandoned starship that no one wanted had become the stuff of galactic legend, a symbol of hope, courage, and the limitless potential of humanity. And through it all, Elena and her crew continued to explore, discover, and challenge the limits of possibility, showing the galaxy that humans could rise above any obstacle. No one would ever underestimate them again.